Hello guys, welcome back to this channel. To the new subscribers, my name is Julie, and to the returning ones, thank you so much. So today I'm starting this vlog at night. I decided to do the dishes before I start making dinner. So I like working on clean spaces, so that's why I usually clean the dishes before I start maybe cooking anything, because my kitchen is small, so I have to work with the space that I have. So that's why I usually clean everything before I start cooking. So for me, when I'm cleaning the dishes, I usually put some soap in a container or a cup and dilute it with some water, because I don't have a soap dispenser. So that makes it easy for me.
And don't show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight.
So for this day, I wasn't going to make dinner. I was actually making some beans I had boiled earlier in the day. So for dinner, I had just ordered some takeouts. So I was just going to make the beans, the freezer beans, after doing the dishes. This was around 7:30 p.m. So the dishes that I was cleaning were from lunchtime, and I was busy, so this is the time I got to do the dishes. So for me, before I start making any meal, I usually start by preparing all the ingredients. So that makes it easy for me when I'm cooking. So here I was preparing everything that I was going to use to make the beans. So I was going to use like 2 onions, some tomatoes, hoho and carrots. For the tomatoes, I was going to blend them because I like them smooth. So that's why I was going to blend them. And for the onions, I love a lot of onions in my food. So if you know me, you know that. So guys, if you want to make it easy for you when cooking, make sure you like prepare everything before you start like preparing the meal. What I mean is, don't like start frying the onions when you've not yet sliced maybe the tomatoes and the carrots, cause this will just confuse you, because maybe you'll just forget about the onions and maybe the meal what.
Open eye, feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me. So alive, make it last forever. Stop in time, yeah, I'm surrendering. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me move. Can make me move.
So after preparing the ingredients, I went straight to start making the beans. So I was making the coconut beans. So I've not yet meal prepped for this month, so I just started with the beans. For the rest, I have to go to the market and shop for the other cereals. So for the beans, what I do, I start by frying the onions, but before putting the onions on the pot, I make sure that my oil is heated up. So after frying the onions, I usually add some garlic, but I didn't have some in the house because I had not done some grocery shopping. So, and for my beans, I wasn't going to use a lot of spices. The only spices I used were just the beef cubes and some curry powder. So this because the baby also takes the same food that we do. So after frying the onions, the carrots and the hoho, I added some tomato paste. So I usually cook my tomato paste before I add the fresh tomatoes.
Walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight.
So here the beans were almost ready. So I just waited for it to cool down before I put them in the freezer, cause I usually don't put my meals when they're warm. They usually go bad when you put them when they're warm. So you have to wait for them to cool down. You can see these were so thick. This is how I love them. So the beans were the yellow beans. So this is what we had ordered. So in the bag there we had some spicy chicken wings. So after taking the dinner, I just went straight to unpacking some few things that we had gotten from town. I also added some containers for my freezer meals, because the ones that I have are not enough. So I didn't do like I this was already late. It was around 10:30 p.m. actually. So this was everything. I also wanted to try this all-purpose cleaner. So I also got another plate for my baby. I have a similar one to that. I just added in case I break one. So yeah, that was everything that we got. So this was 2 days later. It was on a Friday. I was getting ready to go to town. I wanted to go do some grocery shopping. I also wanted to get some few things for my baby. So that's why I decided to take him with me. So he usually enjoys so much whenever he knows that we are going out.
I'm breathing in. Hold tight. Chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me.
So he was so excited. So the first thing we did, we went to thrift some few things for the baby. So the main thing that I wanted were some rompers, because right now it's so cold. and the ones that we have, he has outgrown them. So I wanted mostly the rompers and maybe some jackets. So after thrifting, I went to a certain shop to get him some shoes. I had seen them a few days before. So for the grocery shopping, I just went done them, but I didn't film that. So we also took some lunch before we headed back home, cause I knew he was hungry, cause we left the house at around 11 and this was around 3. So I knew he was hungry. Can see he was enjoying himself so much.
Through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me move. You can make me move. Can make.
So these were the few things that I had gotten for the baby. I also thrifted this kitchen towel. It was going for 100 bob, 100 Kenyan shillings. So I also thrifted my bed sheet. It was going for 500 Kenyan shillings. It's a 6x6. So for the rompers, one was going for 200. This one, the light one, the trousers were going for 150 and the shirts too. So for the heavy rompers, like the yellow one and the red one, they were going for 300, which was expensive for me. I thought these were maybe 100 or 150. So for the sweatshirts, they were going for 200, no, 250. You can see this was my best of all. It's so heavy, as you can see. I just love it. So yeah, that was everything that I got for him, and some shoes. But for the shoes, his dad got them. We just picked them. So I think they are big. They are all big. Cause right now he wears size 22 and these were 24. But there's no problem with that cause he's growing. So for the open ones, they were going for 400 Kenyan shillings, and the black shoes were going for 2,500. I love the black ones, but they're big. We'll just keep them for him until they fit him. So after unpacking, we went to take a nap. This was around 7. That's when we woke up. So that's when I decided to unpack the groceries. So for the onions, I didn't get them in the market. Hubby had traveled and he got them from, I think, a Mali town. They are cheaper there because all those onions were going for 400 Kenyan shillings. So for the groceries, I got the tomatoes were going for 100, the sweet potatoes 100 bob. For the carrots, a kg was going for 80 shillings, so I got 1.5. For the ginger, that was 30 shillings. The bananas were for 100 bob, and for the arrowroots they were also for 100 bob. And the pawpaw I got, the bigger one was going for 80 shillings and the other one was going for 50. And guys, have you checked the prices of potatoes? Cause like the potatoes we just saw, I got them for 250 Kenyan shillings. I feel like it's so expensive. So I also added some few things that we had not gotten the other day that we were doing shopping. Also added some yogurt and some soda. I also got vinegar because that's what I use to clean the vegetables. So you can see the onions I was talking about, all these for 400 Kenyan shillings. I think that was cheaper. So yeah, for the eggs I usually get them in a wholesale store, but they were not open, so I just got a few. So for the hohos, one was going for 10 Kenyan shillings. For the mangoes, one was going for 40 and the bigger one was going for 50 Kenyan shillings. The lemons one was going for 10, and the melon, the half of it was 100 Kenyan shillings. So yeah, to wash the veggies I'm going to use water and some vinegar. So guys, let me know how you clean your vegetables in the comment section. This is how I clean mine. Sometimes I soak them for a while in the vinegar water, but I was in a rush to make dinner because this was at night. And for my potatoes, I usually don't clean them. I don't know if you guys clean yours, but for mine I don't. But sometimes I do if they are dirty. So after cleaning everything, I sliced some mango for the baby to snack on while I was making dinner. So for dinner, I was going to warm the beans I had made 2 days earlier. They were in the freezer. I had removed them from the freezer hours before this. So the good thing about meal prepping is that it saves time, because if I was to make the beans this night, they were going to take long. So this was easy for me because I just warmed the beans and boiled the rice and steamed some cabbage. So that's why I love meal prepping. So for the hohos, carrots, and the apples, I was going to put them in these ziplocs. They usually stay fresh for long when I put them here. So I got them some weeks ago from an online shop. I don't remember. It was an Instagram page. I don't remember the name. So for my danias, this is how I store them. I usually put a paper towel in a container, then put the danias in the middle and cover them with the paper towel. This way I usually use these for a week and they stay fresh. I don't know for you, what tips do you use? Let me know in the comment section. So this is how I store mine. And for the carrots, that's how I store them, and the hohos. And they usually go for a month without going bad. They are usually fresh. So my dinner was almost ready by the time I finished with keeping this away. So yeah, that's how I store them.
I'm walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight.
So my dinner was ready. This is how I served it. So I also added some avocado on top. And guys, have you noticed that the prices of avocados have gone high? Like for this one, I had bought it the previous day at 40 Kenyan shillings, and it's not that big. So yeah, that's how I served it. So for the beans, they are so thick. That's how I love them. I usually make my beans thick, as you can see. So thank you so much guys for watching my video till this point. If you haven't subscribed, please make sure you do. Like my videos, comment, and share me out. So yeah, thank you guys. I'll see you on my next video. Bye.